I met a friend that I grew up with who actually had been a heroin addict, and I expected to find him either in jail or dead. He said, "Hey, Bill, I need to tell you something." I said, "What?" He said, "I found Jesus." And I was like, "You found Jesus?" I didn't know Jesus was lost. He said, "No, Bill, I'm not talking about religion. There's a real Jesus, and he can change your life." He changed my life. I went in the military for 4 years during the Vietnam War. Got on drugs pretty bad before I went in the military. Continued with it while I was in the military, but sort of like a functional drug addict. Did my job, got by. It's more than just an addiction. There's family things, there's background, there's wounds, there's hurts. And those are the things that are so deep-rooted that you can't fix on your own. And you need someone. In my case, I needed Jesus. But I needed someone to introduce me to Jesus. I needed someone to be bold enough to tell me the truth, someone to invite me, but a place to go. He said, "Hey, there is this service. It's held on the north side at this place called the Light of Life," which I knew nothing about. Although I lived close. I grew up on Federal Street Extension, which is just up the hill from the Light of Life. So he said, "You will love it," because they got a preacher there who's really funny. And I said, "Okay, I'll go with you." But in reality, I don't want to go to church. I was going to say, "Hey, Denny, I'm glad you found Jesus. I'm glad life's working out good for you, but this Jesus business is not for me." So anyway, I go to the Light of Life, and I'm sitting in their little chapel service. There's a lot of drug addicts and people struggling with alcohol there. Even though I'm still struggling with drugs, I sort of saw myself as, now I'm not that bad, but I was that bad. I was empty and I was hurting and I was lost. And the preacher's preaching, and he says this verse, that if any man gives his life to Christ, he becomes a new creation. Old things are passed away, new things come. And all of a sudden, as he was speaking, he disappeared. I mean, he was still there, but to my eyes, he was gone from the platform, and in place was a blackboard. It appeared there was this writing all over it, scribbling nonsense. And I heard a voice, and the voice said, "Bill, this is your life. It's a mess. But if you will let me, I will do this for you." And a hand appeared with an eraser, and it erased all this scribbling. And all of a sudden it was gone. And there is the speaker up there preaching again. He said, "If anyone wants Christ, to come up." And I got up on my seat, I went up to the front, and I didn't know how to pray. I said, "Jesus, I've been driving the car of my life, and I'm wrecking it. I'm going to get in the back seat, and I'm going to let you drive." And when I was done, I was set free from drugs. I'd been struggling with drugs for 7 years. I was set free. And that was 1975. And not only did he take drugs out of my life and bitterness out of my life and reunite with my father, he called me into the ministry. And I've been in the ministry for 40 years. And that was from the Light of Life, a little chapel service on the north side, to a young man who expected nothing except a boring, uncomfortable service to get out of there. And it changed my life forever.